Good evening, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are joining us from. True Life Reflection of an African Child is here. My name is Veronica Mwenkom, and if you are just joining us, please say hi for us to know that you have joined the program. I want to say some few things before we start program. I sincerely apologize that things are not really going well. Sometimes I book appointment with the people and it's not able to come on just because sometimes the network is very bad, or the people I actually book the time with are very busy people, very busy people, and so sometimes to get time with them is really difficult. But definitely the program will continue. Please like and share for other African youth to watch, be inspired to grow, because I always say that so many people have gone through challenges and they have been able to make it, and the trend continue. We are struggling. We don't know where to start from. The challenges are there left and right. We don't know what to do. There are great people from Africa who have made it. They are our mentors. They are our role models. And today we have another great personality. He's going to share his educational journey with us. And I'm sure you will be inspired and I will be inspired. So just share, say hi for us to know that you have joined. And thank you very much for joining. Good evening, Doctor.
Good evening, Veronica.
Yes, it's nice to have you on the program today. I want to thank you so much that even though the last time we were supposed to have the program, you didn't really have time, but you agreed that we reschedule our time, and today we are on the program. Thank you very much.
Oh, yes, you're welcome. It is a
Yes,
pleasure to be
so
with
we'll just start. Just introduce yourself to us, please.
All right. My name is Kojanane, George Kojanane. I'm here in Ghana. I'm a Ghanaian. Uh, I'm a university administrator. I work with the University of Energy and Natural Resources. So I do university work from admissions, student recruitment, and graduations, everything about student management. I have been into that job for the past 10 years now. So basically, that is something short about me.
Wow, university administrator. Congratulations on your the height that you have reached in your life. We are so proud of you. We hope that how you started and how you have been able to reach that where you are now is going to inspire a lot of us, and we also fight to get to your stage.
I
So
hope so. I hope so.
yes. Take us through your educational journey. Let me say your basic education, everything about your education.
Yes, education. Well, I have traveled a lot through my education. I started my basic education in the Western region. If you have heard about Jaboso, Bia in the Western North region now, that's where I started because my parents were into farming, and from that end, from our cocoa farm, there I enrolled. I then moved, I think around 1998. I moved back to the Bono region. Uh, yes, still busy school. I came to my hometown, Yaraso, which is just close to Sampa along the Cote d'Ivoire border. So that is where I came to write my BEC. And from there, I moved to the Doma Senior High School, Domas, Great Domas. That is where I had my senior high school education. From there, I moved to the University of Cape Coast, the University of Choice, Competitive Choice. That is where I did my first degree. And in 2009, I completed my bachelor's program there. From there, I did my national service at the Sunyani Technical University. At the time, it was Sunyani Polytechnic. And from there, just before I ended my national service, I got admission to do my master's in planning at KNUST, the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. So I enrolled in 2010 and completed in 2012. In between, I did from 2012, I had to do another national service, kind of. And through it, I got a job finally in 2013, where I had to undergo other training programs which were related to my job area. So I participated in programs, scholarships offered by the DAD, the German Academic Exchange Service, Train IQ Africa, which was about quality assurance in higher education in African higher education institutions. And then there were other training programs which were professional certification in that area. And in 2017, actually before 2017, I had scholarships to do PhD, but then there was a challenge of not qualifying for study leave. And so in 2013, just when I was starting my work, I had a scholarship to study in the Nanyang Technological University in Singapore. But then I had just gotten a job, and these are some of the decisions one has to make in line of in our journey. It was about going for the PhD with a scholarship or concentrating on the job I have just started in that same year. I did a lot of consultations, and friends told me, look, at the end of the day, you'll be looking for a job. So if you get a job now, why not? I took the job, and in 2017, I still wanted to pursue my PhD. So I got another scholarship, uh, which is a PhD scholarship in which was under the VET-TUB Urban Lab project, which is also a sponsored program by the German Academic Exchange Service. And then BMZ, the German Development Corporation. I got that scholarship. It was a split site program, kind of the Technical University of Berlin and also the University of the Witwatersrand in the Johannesburg, South Africa. And I finally registered in 2018. And, COVID came in along the line, but by the grace of God, graduated. I attended my graduation on the 18th of July, just this year. That was when I qualified at the point, but then graduation came up this year, and I graduated with a PhD in urban and regional planning. So, education, that is the journey. It's been a long, winding one, but that is all about the education aspect. Thank you.
Wow. Great journey indeed. We would like to know what course did you pursue at the senior high school? It's like I didn't listen well.
Oh, okay. So I was a program. I was a general arts student. So you have geography, economics, and that stuff. So I was a general arts student in that area. Then moved to UCC. I did tourism, and I did tourism. Then from tourism, I went to do planning at KNUST and also doing urban and regional planning at the PhD level.
Wow. Quite interesting. You did tourism at UCC and then you decided to drop that and you went and did planning.
Oh yeah, no. You see, I that is one thing probably we will talk along the line. Before you enter into the university, I think that one thing which is important is about academic counseling, for example, something which is important. I remember in the first year, I was in the whole Casford. And a lot of the guys will say that I bet you are doing tourism. It's about traveling and moving around. So what are you doing here? But then I will say that today I'm happy I pursued tourism because it opened up so many things to me. Sometimes we have had this fancy people wishing, oh, I want to do administration, I want to do this, I want to do that. Sometimes we don't really look at what we have. We think about something which either people have said or we think is going to help us. But career, I would say academic counseling is so much important in the transition from senior high school to university is so much. And to me, I think that a first degree program, apart from the specialty areas, medicine and other engineering programs, for those of us in the arts and social sciences, I don't see so much of a difference. You just need to develop your being a positive person, developing the skills that will need you to go out there. It doesn't matter if you did sociology, if you did. Yes, I'm not saying it is not important, but the underlying thing, what I have seen, is that you go in there, allowing yourself discover whatever it is, and from there you continue. A first degree program is universal. It should cut across the line. It should give you the foundation to think through, know yourself better, and then see the person you are, so that from there you can make good choices that will make you. I have not regretted doing, though I had friends who along the line, especially in the first year, whose comments were kind of demotivating. I remember someone who saw my results and said, so with these results, what they call tourism, you know, and then things like that. But for me, I think it's been worth it.
So, still a follow-up question. Was it your interest to go and do tourism, or you didn't have an option?
Here in Ghana, the average applicant will apply to, on the average, 2 universities. I remember I applied to KNUST to do planning, but then UCC released their list early. After looking at the program outline and everything, there was a description to the program. I had to do a little bit of searching. And one of the things I am happy about on this journey is when you have people who are positive, who are able to give you the ins and outs of some of these. I remember talking to people, and they said that, look, just the same thing I spoke about. Just go first degree program. Don't stress yourself too much. Just go into it. And I was told one thing from the start, which is being a positive person. With a positive, you can do medicine, you can do pharmacy and all the other areas and engineering. If you have the wrong attitude, if you don't have that right attitude, forget it. So for me, I would say academic counseling from people who have been there, who have done this already, yes, helped, and I enjoyed it. In the first year, yes, like a lot of students, as I see today, being a university administrator, I sometimes had the second thought. What if I went to another university? What if I did another program? But from second year, I began enjoying everything. But yes, I enjoyed it.
Okay, so if you are facing same challenges right now, what he encountered, just consult him. He's a mentor for you. He's a role model. Just consult him and he will help you to overcome the frustration of what to do. Okay, so let's talk about some challenges that you encountered during.
I want to add one thing. I'm now working as a university administrator, and as I said, in charge of academic and student affairs. And you have students come and prospective student or with their parent. And the bottom line is that, please, we are looking for, we want our award to enroll in a program where they can get an immediate job, and I find it to be a worrying trend, it is not about just enrolling in something just to go and get a job. That is that what you have from your education is important. It prepares you. It's a lifelong thing. The job aspect is one, but then I don't want it to be like, look, I'm looking for a job. That is what a lot of people think. So if you send me a message, if you want a program which will get you a job, I may not be able to help in that regard. But what I know is that the skills you need to build, the skills you need to acquire during your university or whichever level you are, which will make you that person sought after, or which will open you up to opportunities. Yes, I can talk about that. But for a program which has the golden egg to lay jobs for you, for that, I'm afraid I may not be able to do that. Thank you.
Yes, so viewers, thank you very much for joining. As I said, send us hi, hello for us to know that you have joined the program. Wherever you are watching us from, you can also tell us the place. And thank you, JBA Online. Thank you very much for joining. I've seen you. Thank you very much for the best wishes. And also send us your message. This program is meant for us. And we face a lot of challenges, and this could be an inspiration for me and you. So just share, like the page, and follow. Let other people to watch this program. You could be a savior to someone this evening. Thank you very much for joining. So, Doc, let's continue. So right now, I think that life is so successful for you because you have gotten
please.
yes, you have gotten a very good job. Let me say, if I may say, an excellent job. What are you happy now? What are your successes? Tell us about your success. What are you happy for now in life?
I would say I'm happy for so many things. The first thing is having education, which has opened up so many opportunities. There are areas I probably never thought I could enter, but with education I have in there. I have met people at times who look at it that, oh, okay, you are young. You are young for years, which is relative anyway. You are young for this level of where you've gotten to, and I tell them, with education, some of these things do not matter. You see, so yes, I've seen education, as I said all the time, as a springboard, which my parents are. I'm happy for parents and all those who have contributed, my brothers, and all those people along the line who have assisted me. For that, I have built excellent networks, people I can call anytime for quality discussions. I'm happy about that, and I see it to be one of the things anybody will need. I recently watched something which said that there are two currencies you need in the current in our times. One is performance currency, and one most important thing is a relationship currency. And I say that yes, network wise, I'm happy the networks I have built up to this stage. Yes, with the certification or the certificates I have, I'm happy. I at least been able to get a terminal degree, a PhD. Yes, I'm happy. But then along the line, the lessons, the people I have met are what gives me that sense of accomplishment. That I'm happy the people I have met, people who are able to open other doors, people with whom you can plan and do a lot of things. That is so much important. So I tell students here that don't make it that it is about lectures to your hostel and all that. Some of us, one of the best things, and I'll mention his name, is now Professor Ishmael Mensah, who is a professor at the University of Cape Coast. He's a professor of tourism. And when even at the first degree level, these were people who were down to earth. We were able to share our stories, our struggles with them, and they open up. They were able to tell what to do, what you cannot do, how things could work. And today, even my PhD was one of the people who provided a letter of reference for me. You know, today it is so I still will mention quality networks, people, and that if there's anybody here who is either in your church, in whichever community you are, relationships matter, networks matter. Either that you'll be carrying your certificate around and talking as though the certificate is worthless. Your next job or your next opportunity may be in your network and not some of the places you are looking at for. So for me, networking is something I do not play with, because it has given a lot of chances. It has opened so many doors to me along the line. Yes.
Networking is very important. Don't stay to only your books. You should find people that you can share your ideas with. Thank you very much, Dr. Annani.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I hope after this program, if someone reach out to me and say, okay, I've been inspired by Dr. Anani's story, but I need an advice from him. Can I contact you for that advice or connect you to the person?
Why not? Why not? I have benefited so much from mentoring from some of these things, and so I tell people on LinkedIn, for example, where yes, I try to, I receive CVs of people I have never met who want me to go through their CV, and the joy is when someone sends you uh, a feedback that look, after your review, I was so happy. And then the best part is when somebody says that look, I now have gotten a job with an improved CV with this. There are other people who want to do a PhD, who want to go for further studies, and are torn between a job and then further studies. It is all about trying to. I've shared my contact with people I've never met. It's just on social media. The bottom line is that once I will be able to put out some information which will help you in taking your decision. I think that is the best part of life. We shouldn't meet, we shouldn't know each other in person before we can touch each other's life.
Thank you very much for the assurance to mentor
Okay.
some African youth in case they need your support. We have no problem. We have a role model to look up to if you have similar issues. So thank you very much. And viewers, thank you for joining. Please, if you come across this program, just like and share for other people to watch. It is an inspirational program for all of us. So, Doc, let's, in a way, of conclusion, what is your advice for young African youth who have challenges in making decisions about their education? But like before that, let me go into something. You mentioned that sometimes parents bring to their children to the university, and they want courses that when the person finish, immediately you get job, like something like that. Some of us found ourselves in situations that we had to go to the training colleges because that was the only place your parents will tell you that, guardians will tell you that go to the training college because from the training college you are sure of getting job. And also sometimes when your family background is not all that good, you are not sure of all these things, they just by force you have to go to the training college even though you are not you are not interested in going there. But the challenge also has to do with that sometimes you don't actually have a way out because we don't even have anything on us. We don't have money to support ourselves or anything, so you just have to follow what your parents or whosoever is taking care of you tells you. What do you think about this, and what should we do if our parents tell us that okay, we should do these courses that we can easily get job after we complete, but maybe I'm not interested in the course? What should I do?
Well, this is a long for enough for one person. What I would do? Yes, I've spoken to people who are not happy in what they do because they probably had to pursue programs under duress. Let me put it that way, because to parents or to some people, it was about a program where you can get an allowance, a program where you finish and you are posted and all that. I tell people it is a journey. Once you find yourself in that way, just tell yourself the very day you complete and start working, tell yourself you are still going to pursue that because now you are in a position to decide for yourself for most part of the decision making. Do not let it rest. I believe that yes, after the training college program, you are still here today. Others are doing so much. I have met people who went to college of education because of this money issue and all that. But with a positive attitude, they finished, they taught, they went further to do other programs, and today they have developed themselves to the point where they want. Apart from that, there are several opportunities in terms of scholarships, which are not open. Sometimes say that the communication about these scholarships is something which is not the best. as people find it difficult to understand the process of application and all that, there are things you can ask your community, people in your community, and other people who have been through this. There are other pathways to education, and so it doesn't matter if you have to go through a college of education to get up there. What I expect is that you don't give up. That from there you still will have to think through whatever it is. Do not rest, because resting is not part of it. We have to always keep going.
Okay, thank you very much. But questions are coming in from the viewers, and maybe I'll want to. The same question I asked, someone is asking. Louis is asking, why did you choose tourism at the undergraduate level? He wants to know why you chose tourism. Was it your choice, or your parents wanted you to do,
It was my first choice. Yes, it was my first choice. My parents never made any decision in programs of choice and all that. Never. I remember when I finished junior high BEC and I was going to a senior high school. Do you know what my father said? He said I had to go alone. I had to go alone to the school to see. You know, at the time there wasn't internet, and that was 2001. Yes, 2001. There wasn't this placement, computerized placement and other things. You had to travel there. My father told me that after passing, if I couldn't go myself to check whether I have passed and that I have been admitted there, then he had failed me. That the examiners have passed me in my BC, but he has failed me. You know what? So programming from the general, as when I went, I know some teachers who said, I don't know, you can do science. You can do this. I remember going to the science class for 1 month, but then at the end of it, I still thought that that is not where I belong. So I moved back to general arts, where I found my foot. So you see, going to the university, I went to the university and met some people at the level of university with their parents, following them in all the processes. But for me, it wasn't a new thing to me. I wasn't I wasn't one of those people where a parent had to make a decision in terms of a program of choice. I had people. I remember one teacher who said, you know, at the time internet wasn't something but there were people who could say that one, I was happy looking through some of the prospects, all of us, what you can do after studying tourism, what you can become, what you could do. So why not? And I also had people who told me one thing, and which has been with me up to this time, that it doesn't matter. Undergraduate program, whichever program you do, it doesn't matter. Go there, become a positive person, build a positive mentality. That is what sells. At the end of the day, if you want to go up, yes, but at the level of undergraduate, just forget about all that. There were these discussions and all that. So I didn't have any issue with this choice. I think that, well, for me, if I get a chance again, I will still do tourism. If I have the chance again today to go to the undergraduate, I will still choose tourism and still probably UCC, because it was the foundation. It has been the foundation throughout. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Louis. I hope you have been answered. They found you. You were hiding outside. I can see that they found you.
Yeah.
I can see that they are around.
Yes.
No problem. It's part of the story.
I understand.
There is another question here.
Okay.
Would you advise bachelor students who want to pursue master's education to have PhD in mind, considering difficulty in finding a job after master's education in our country?
For me, a job, finding a job at the end of the day, yes, we all wish to work after our education. Why not? I have told people who complain about being unemployed and all that. I have reviewed people's proposals and other things. I remember one gentleman who said that 2 years after his national service, he still wasn't working. And I told him that, look, you have what it takes to pursue another level. You can go and do your master's. So don't sit and say that, oh, yes, 2 years after your national service. Yes, after reviewing his proposal and other things, he has finished his master's now. He got a job and now has enrolled on a PhD program. So these things can come along the way. If you find a job right after your bachelor's, why not? You shouldn't forget about furthering your education. The same way, if you finish and you don't get a job and you go further, still have this along that look. Whatever it is, at the end of the day, the bottom line is that you need to work to justify all the hours, the energy you are put into your education. So why not? If you find a scholarship, or then there are so many scholarships these days. When you go to Twitter, when you go to LinkedIn, and a lot of job portals, scholarship portals, there are so many scholars. I think where you are, you can testify to this. You just have to sit down, prepare a very good proposal, have a good motivation kind of letter, and if you need assistance, there are so many people around these days to assist you. Get that, and you don't have to wait trying to decide, is it a job, is it to go for further education, and all these things. It could be demoralizing at times among a lot of graduates from after your bachelor's. The next thing is that, am I getting a job? If it is not a job, do I have to go to do master? So I find a group of people now, in my estimation, who are doing master's programs not because they wanted to. They are doing it, I would say, under duress, kind of. There wasn't any job, so what the next thing is to find a master's program and enroll. And so a lot of them have so many issues with their program of what they are doing because that wasn't the choice. If that is where you are, I want you to appreciate that it is part of the process. Just do your best, finish. The jobs along the line will come. What you need is the skills, or what you need are the skills that will make you stand out of the crowd. There are a lot of people now who are out there looking for jobs. But for me, I say that once you have the right skills, it doesn't matter the crowd, you'll be found out.
Okay, thank you very much, Louis. I hope your question have been answered. In fact, a lot of advice for us, even though we have not heard the last advice for African youth, but a lot of some questions are still coming in. Maybe we will tackle them. But Louis is asking again. Some people are of the view that if you pursue masters and PhD in Europe specifically or outside the country, it is more like important. Let me see, what did he say? Some people are of the view that pursuing masters or PhD outside is better than doing it home. So it I don't know what to say, but I'm sure Luis know the situation. In PhD specifically, where I live in Finland, if you are doing PhD, you are paid. You are like a worker, a researcher at the university. You are well paid. It's not like, I know in Ghana, some of the PhD programs, you have to pay your own school fees. You know that, right, Luis? Yeah. And also, master's program, we get, if not because of that, we wouldn't have gotten the opportunity to come and stay here or even do our program, because the amount of school fees that we are supposed to pay, we cannot actually afford. So that alone is a plus. I don't know what Doc would say about this question.
I don't want to say come into this conversation. What I know is that we all go to, either it is Europe, in the Americas, or wherever you go, or on the continent, wherever you want to do whatever. The difference in environment, and it teaches you so many things, which for some people, for me, I don't want to talk about you having a PhD outside the country is better than you doing here in Ghana. No, I don't want to go into that, because it is not necessary. That is not. If you have the chance to do it here in Ghana, why not? If you want to go outside there to do it, it shouldn't be. I think we are in the era where we try to compare anything that comes. We want to compare. That is really not necessary to me. What I know is that you want to do a PhD, right? Yes. If you got a chance in Ghana to do a PhD, fine. If you had a scholarship either here or outside the country to go and do your PhD, that is okay. The bottom line is what you will become at the end of this. If you went to Europe, if you went to the Americas to do your PhD and you come somebody who is unfit for a lot of things, what is in that? So I don't want us to go in there. What we are looking out for is that you come out with your PhD certificate, you are good, you are better prepared to be able to stand with whatever challenges come before you. Those are the things we are looking at for. Yes, I've experienced the education in Ghana. I've also been out there. I think the preparation here is not bad. But then when you go out there, there is a plus because of one or two things coming together. Yes, well-funded programs. I was on a scholarship. And so I know what was in this. Without that, and I know how with all the traveling up and down, going to Germany, traveling, all this, it was all about this scholarship, with good insurance package and everything. So I don't want us to go there. Wherever you get the opportunity, please don't let it be that this is better than that. Do your best, become the best. And that is all what we are looking out for.
Yes, a very good response for us. Thank you very much, Doc. Thank you, viewers. Thank you, Louise, for joining and for the questions. Thank you, my sister Emilia. Thank you, Obesi GHTZ. Thank you very much for joining the program. If you join the program, they just send us high for us to know that you have joined. Doctor have taken us to another level, but we will not talk about that today. We will come another time. You want to know how you had that special scholarship which sponsored even your traveling and everything. How did you get it? How was the application problem and documents that you use for that application? We want you to take us through that particular application process so that if people are interested and they're also struggling, they wish to go the same process, why not? It could be an opportunity for some people. But I think time is already gone. We cannot talk about that today. I hope Doc will find another time for me so that we can talk about that another time. People will be much grateful.
I will do that.
Yes. So we are just wrapping up the program. Your last advice, short words for African youth.
Yes, I know in the era where we are, there are so many things happening at the same time. There are so many changes happening in the environment. In whichever spheres of our lives, things are changing rapidly. The only way we can get out there to be part of this is to begin rethinking a lot of things we do in terms of education, in terms of work, and all that. What do we do? I believe that I look at figures for unemployment or even underemployment and I get worried. I want us to look at this, coming together as a people, whether we are in school or wherever we are, as I mentioned, networking. Let us think beyond our lecture theaters, beyond the four walls or whichever number of walls we have. Coming out of school, what we have to do. There are so many things we have to begin looking out now. But I would say education is something we shouldn't play with because that is the currency that can put us up there. Once we are enlightened, once we have been emancipated through education, it opens a lot of doors which originally were closed. And I believe that we've got it. We have to look up. We do not have to allow the challenges around us to overtake us so much so that we give excuses for whatever opportunities there are. There are so many opportunities. Mostly they are covered. We need to do a little bit of work to be able to uncover this. Nothing good comes easy. And so I'm not saying that it's been a journey. There have been moments where some of us thought of just leaving it as it were so that we can have our peace. But the very moment you take that decision, that is where your hardship starts. If you come to a point where you think that quitting is the solution, it is rather the beginning of your hardship. For a lot of us, I would say, let us keep pushing. If you come across challenges, seek help. We have all sought help along the line. That is a lot. Yesterday, I posted something that growing up, whether in school or at home, asking became a sign of weakness. And so a lot of us are not trained to ask. We are not trained to seek assistance. Let us do that. If we have any challenges, let us, because together we can always solve our challenges together and make a progress. I think at another time when we meet, there are different things we can share. And beyond this, if you have any further questions, any discussions you want us to have, I think you can send me a message on my whichever platform there is. I'm available to be able to respond at the appropriate time. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Dr. Anani. Thank you very much for your words of advice for us. I know the viewers are grateful for your time. I am very grateful for the time and the encouragement that you have given us. If we face challenges, we need to ask, and that is why he's here. If you need a mentorship, just reach out to me and I'll get him to help you out. So our time is over. Thank you, viewers, for joining. And if you are joining in, just share for other people to watch the program. I wish you the very best. I'm greeting him. Wow. How are you? Yeah, he's gone. Yes, I hope he grows to be like you or even better.
Oh, sure, better.
We are hoping for a better generation. That is what we are looking up for.
Exactly.
Yes. So thank you very much for the time, and I wish you a good luck in all your endeavors and best wishes to your family. Have a good evening.
All right, do have a great one too. Bye-bye.
Yes, bye. Thank you, viewers, for joining, and do have a wonderful time. Until then, we'll meet in another program. But let me tell you, very soon, I'll be going on YouTube because a lot of challenges, and there will be new programs that will be coming on. People will be telling us about how they start their entrepreneurship journey. People will be sharing with us how they got scholarship in specific universities. So go to YouTube, search for True Life Reflection of an African Child, and just follow us and expect more of these from us. Thank you very much, viewers, and it's bye for now.